Hey, y'all. This is KeeKee Cornelious, your friendly neighborhood digital coach and business nomad. Look, business coach and digital nomad. I love it when I do that because my life is just so intertwined. It just all works together. I'm here. I'm here with Martha, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, Martha. However, I want to talk a little about me and you and how we met. And the thing about this, we're going to be talking about working from anywhere and how you can start with just a dream, right, Martha?
Yes.
And when I met Martha, did we meet at a Debbie
Yes.
Allen event? Okay, that's what I thought. And I was actually volunteering at the event, and Martha was a participant. And somehow, when I checked you in, we just hit it off, like
connected
instantly. Instantly, there was like something that was going to hold us together. I did not know what it was at that time because honestly, I was just beginning this journey at that time. And It's not like I didn't know you. And it's been a beautiful journey for both of us watching each other, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So Martha is a speaker. She's working on a new book. She's an author. She's also into domestic violence. So I know that thinking about what Martha does in this world, it was only a matter of time until you started traveling and working from anywhere.
Yes.
It was only a matter of time, only because you have the gift that you have for this world. It's not just for just one part of the country or one part of it's a global thing. It's global change that you're bringing around. Okay, so tell us a little about you, Martha.
Well, I'm just so blessed and just so honored to be here with you, KeeKee. Yeah, we definitely go way back. I don't even remember if it was 5-6 years ago that we met at Debbie Allen.
Right.
It was 5. In Los Angeles. And I actually received the invitation from Ursula Mentes. And she was actually one of my first coaches that I had hired to help me with sales. And some of the dynamics of that program is some of the fears that go behind why we're afraid to sell, why we're afraid to do anything, right?
Right.
So I feel like that, I've been on this journey for some time now, and I just feel like, not that I've arrived, but that I'm certainly a lot closer than I was 5-6 years ago. So
yay. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I reached out to you because I really wanted to know how did you get from there to here on your journey to where you are. So take me back to when we first started and we first connected, and I was talking about traveling and working from anywhere. And at that time, I was talking about living on vacation. Where were you and what was going on in your head at that time? What did you want?
I knew in my core that I wanted something different. I knew in my core that travel is inside me. And it's a seed that I don't even know when it was deposited, but many, many, many years ago. So when I started to, think about it, ponder it, pray, meditate, and yes, the doors are open. God has everything on this universe for us. It's ours for the taking if you tap into the right resources.
Right.
So I always say, okay, who's in your circle? Who are you hanging with? What kind of peeps are motivating you, encouraging you for the pro or the con, right?
Right.
So it's really important, I think, as businesswomen, as entrepreneurs, that we hang with those that are uplifting us and motivating us and cheering us on. And that's what we do. I feel like as entrepreneurs, that's what we do. We're sisters, we're united. We help each other, we motivate, we encourage. When somebody's down, we lift them up, vice versa. I think that's really key. We should be cheerleaders for each other, right?
Exactly.
So just watching you certainly has inspired me. I think it was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was watching you and you're like, here I am, I'm in Paris. Here I am, I'm in Spain. And I'm like, dang, I want to go to Paris and Spain with KeeKee. And so from there, I just said, okay, how am I going to get there? And you started sharing a few secrets with me. And so if you join KeeKee and myself, we'll share those with you.
Right.
And so it is possible. Anything is possible. dare to dream it, and then let's put it into action. We need an action plan. We need to set goals, deadlines
Right.
on your goals. And just a shout out to my girl that's been helping me more recently, and that's Angel Tuesday. Hi, Angel.
Yes,
I
right.
love that. Oh, she's amazing. I call her the legit coach. Why?
Okay.
Because she legitimately gives you those tangible resources where you
Good.
can click immediately and it'll take you to where you need to be.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing. So
yeah.
tell me about, okay, so you went from, oh, I want to take these trips to now you're like on these trips. You're traveling all around. I've been seeing you. So
Yeah.
what changed from 2 years ago to now? Like what have you been doing differently?
So as I was sharing with you a little bit earlier that you have to do an inner search. First of all, what is it that you feel is holding you back? And what I hear oftentimes, and I myself was there, was the finances. How many times do we hear, I can't afford it. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, if you hear what you're saying, you're right. You can't, right?
Right? Right.
So it's important for us to change our dialogue within ourselves, deal with those issues within ourselves. Like, what's really going on, sister? Let's talk about it. Let's deal with it. Any
Right.
toxic relationships, hurts, pains, whatever it is, you must heal and allow yourself to go through a healing process.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of purging.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what, helped me. For me, it's, prayer and meditation. And I just started to jot down. And what I did is I went to Staples and I bought myself this big, huge wall calendar. And I just started putting little, the little Post-its. I'm going to go to Spain.
Yes.
I'm going to Europe. I'm going to
Yes.
Barcelona. I'm going to Tahiti. I'm going here. I'm going here. I'm going here. And
Yes.
when you start taking action, it has to it comes into play. The universe, God just puts it together for you,
I believe
right?
that too. I believe that too. Look, I mean, really, just write it, post it, pick it, whatever you can do. Put your vision everywhere. I totally believe in that. I think your vision should be always in front of you. Else, how do you know where you're going?
Right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
let's start planning. What's our budget? Okay, what are we looking at here? Let's work some numbers. We got to do the numbers, right?
Yep.
And how we're going
Yep.
to make that happen. So, along with that, also attending, and here's a plug for Roberto Candelaria.
I love Roberto too.
Right, Mr. Roberto. And that was another conference that I think we
Yep.
connected.
We
It
did.
had been a while since we had
Yep.
actually physically seen each other.
Yep.
And we were at his conference in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And yeah, Roberto is another key caliber person you definitely want to hang with and get
Yeah.
connected, right?
That is definitely what you've hit something on the head, Martha, and it's something that I've been really intentional about on this journey too, is making sure that you're in community with people who push you to think differently, push you to think bigger, push you to be a version of yourself that you haven't even imagined yet, that they can already see, right? So it's
Right.
all about being in community with the right people, the people that guide you, the people that cheer you on, the people who redirect you when you need some redirection. Because let's just face it, we're not always on the right path. However,
No.
there are always people there who can redirect our path and show us a better way, right?
Yeah. And sometimes it's brutal.
There have
It's,
been some brutal things. There have been some brutal things. So, but if you had to say one thing to women entrepreneurs specifically, because that's who I crush on. That's who I do. That's who I wake up to serve, women like you. What
yes.
would you tell them would be that one thing? Like, okay, they're saying, Martha, I hear you talking about being able to work from anywhere. I hear you saying that I need community. I hear you saying that, I need some mindset work, but really, what is that one thing that pushed you over the edge? Like, damn it, now or never.
Yes. For me, yeah, it's now or never. One, for me, is my tender age, right? 63. And I felt like, it's now or never.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
You know, and learning and understanding that we're put on this planet to serve. And when you serve, automatically it comes back to you.
Yeah.
So we're here to be of service to others and help others achieve their goals and their dreams. And while we do that, guess what? God gives it back to you,
Right.
right?
Right.
Comes
I
right.
always just say karma isn't always a bitch.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes karma comes back with lollipops. I'm sorry.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes, yes.
That's so true. And so it's getting out of your stinking thinking. A lot of us have that stinking thinking. For God's sake, stay on your lane.
Yeah.
Criminy.
Yes.
Ugh, I think
Yes.
that's more frustrating than to hear women just, all you hear coming out of their mouth is like, okay, now I know where you're at. Why where you're at? You're
Yes.
stuck.
Yes.
That
Now,
stinking thinking.
yeah, it's like, come on. Come on. Let's move past it. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of being the one who's always thinking of, okay, if you say it's I say, how are you, Martha? I'd be good if the sun were out. Well, you're here. I see the sun. You
Right?
know, it's like the sun can be in anything. It doesn't have to be. But I'm that girl. So I hear what you're saying when someone is in their stinking thinking. Sometimes they just can't see past. It's the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't see past it. And sometimes what I've found is that if only you just attempt to look past it, there's a brighter day.
Yes.
There's a different way. There's
Yeah.
another path. There's another person. There's a connection. Just dare to look someplace different or to think or to talk differently. I love that. I love how you said that. Because I think the mindset is
huge.
Crucial.
It's huge. It's really, really huge. It's all up here. And so what are we thinking about? And when you think about that, don't allow it to penetrate into your heart, because then you speak those words. And when you speak those words of negativity, you just now put it out there in the universe.
Right. And this is something I heard it maybe last week or a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember who said it, but it was like, you know how we all have negative thoughts sometimes that come through our minds. Just because it pops up doesn't mean we have to take captive that thought. We don't have to say, oh, since I'm thinking this, it must be true. No, it doesn't have to become your truth. It could have been a truth at one time in your life, but this doesn't have to be your truth today. I thought, oh, that is so profound, right? Even now, I'm still learning. Like, I've done a lot of mindset work and mindset hacks, right? However, we can still learn on this journey that there are ways to make this head of ours, it's ours. We have total control over what we think and feel, right?
Yes.
I love that. So tell everyone about what's going on with you and what we can see coming up next for you.
Well, real quick, I just want to interject this because it came to my mind, and I believe that it is something positive. The 5-second rule. The 5-second rule is so critical, because how many times do we say, someone will ask you, would you like to go to Bali with me? And you have that 5-second, and in those 5 seconds, believe it or not, we're going to make the decision. I want to go. I don't want to go.
Right.
For whatever reason, right?
Right.
So I did start reading a lot of books. That's really important. Start reading a lot of books that are going to help you with the mindsets, spirituality, whatever that is to you. Right. And so that's really key. And so again, backtracking to Angel, she really helped me and enlightened me with reading some amazing books. And that's one of the books, The 5-Second Rule, The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
Oh,
huge.
That's a good one.
Isn't that an eye-opener?
That's a good one.
I've read
Yourself is a good one too.
Oh man, yeah. I haven't got to that one, but
oh my goodness, I did that one on Audible. He is hilarious. I just love the way he talked that book. It's like, whoa, our minds, man, so important.
Very, very, very key. So, at any rate, where I'm at today is just planning my 2020. We've got a couple of cruises coming up in 2020. We're looking at Spain. And just planning and just strategizing where it is that I need to be with my book coming up. I know that's going to help me. I've been challenged, and since I'm a first-time book writer, I'm now going to be able to teach the pros and cons for the first time that anybody writes their book. The do's and the don'ts. And I have a lot of don'ts. But
I love it.
Yeah. But I've got back-to-back books already in my mind, in my head. I've got to start writing. I've got 2 more books back-to-back. They're coming up, and it's all about empowering women, how we can empower each other. Not only resources. I said the word resources the other day to someone, and so they kind of posed a question. They said, well, resources, that's kind of like vague. But I thought, no, we need resources to be able to do what we do. So it's resources / empowerment, or empowerment / resources. We need that.
We have to have resources.
Right?
Like you're a resource. This Zoom is a resource. Facebook is a resource.
Right?
The books that we read, our coaches are resources. Everything's a resource. Tony Robbins puts it like this: it's not the amount of resources you have that matters, is what you do with the resources you have.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm probably getting that wrong, but you know the gist of it. That's the gist of it.
And it's true. You know what? It's true. I concur, because in the Houston conference that I attended with Roberto, one of the speakers, Trayvon, I think his name was Trayvon, and he talked about the resources that God gives us, and to not utilize a resource is a thought of a foolish man. Because you're not sharing, you're not willing to share, you want to just hold and hoard the resources. Right. That's not a positive action. We ought to be willing to give each other resources. You give, you get back, right?
Yeah, it's like a will, the law of reciprocity. So you receive, you give, you receive, you give. At one time you stop, there's a clog. Like, how do you keep it moving? You have to give and receive. But I think the other side of that, Martha, we talk about people giving, right? However, we know that as women, sometimes it's hard for us to just receive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I'm ready. I'll receive.
Right. I'm an excellent receiver. I am an excellent receiver.
Great. I'm here. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Yes, please. Please.
I want it all, Lord. I want the travel. I want the boat rides, the yachts, the this and the that. I want it all.
All of it. Okay. So do you have a release date for the first book?
I think effective today, later this afternoon, and we'll get that and we'll put that out there. And then we'll be planning the book tours and the launch and the parties and whatnot. And I just might be in your neck of the woods.
Yay! Come on. I'd love to see you. I'd love to see you. Yay! Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So you're on Facebook. Where else can someone find you? How do they connect with you?
So I'm on Instagram under MD _ CEO _ MD recruiter. That's cool. One. I don't utilize I don't tweet that much. I don't use that.
I don't tweet at all.
Yeah. Instagram, Facebook. On Facebook, I have several pages. Find me there. The domestic violence page is the Women's Legacy of Hope page.
I love it. Okay.
Women's Legacy of Hope. And
Women's Legacy of Hope.
Yeah. And so I just want to say real quickly that I was in healthcare recruiting for 30 years altogether in recruitment, and in healthcare 12 years. And so I kind of just see how they're merging. And the reason for that is I started having an aha moment with my nurses and the healthcare providers that I was working with. And they started to share their stories with me on domestic violence and abuse. Okay. And so it just kind of started to intertwine itself. And I thought, there's got to be more to this, right? So allowing, hosting conferences for doctors and talking about domestic violence.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Healthcare is big.
Yes. I imagine it would. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Yes. Yes, Martha. I picked that up. Yes. That's huge.
I knew you would. Healthcare, talking to doctors and nurses about domestic violence.
Yeah, because I think Yeah, it'd be empowering. It'd be some sort of maybe sensitivity training. Yeah,
Helping them to allow themselves to feel it's okay, and letting go of that shame, the stigma that you're a doctor, you can't feel, you're a doctor, you can't put that out there in the universe that you're hurting and you're in pain,
right,
because you, after all, you take care of patients.
right, right.
No,
No,
no. So
right.
this is huge, really huge. So
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm so excited for what's coming up
I
next. And
love it. You're a big dreamer. I love big dreamers.
I'm so glad we just connected and we stayed true to
Me
each
too.
other.
Me
Because
too.
you meet people all the time, and then there's only a few that, stick with you.
Yeah,
And
it's a journey for sure, right?
yeah. So we gotta say thank you to Debbie Allen, thank you to the Ursulas and the
Yes,
Angel
yes,
JP and the Roberto. You guys are doing amazing work.
yes, yes. Thank you for joining me here today, Martha. I love you, girl, but you already know that. Look,
I
and you already know that.
Yeah. And yeah.
Right, right.
I'm excited.
Me
Let's
too.
bring the storm.
Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up.
Okay.